Deep within the heart of the ancient woods, a small cottage stood against the biting chill of the night. Inside, the woodcutter and his wife sat by the fireplace, watching the orange flames dance and cast long, flickering shadows against the stone walls. The silence was heavy with a longing they had carried for years. The wife leaned forward, her eyes reflecting the embers, and let out a soft, melodic sigh. "If only we had a child to call our own," she whispered. "Even if he were no bigger than my thumb, I would love him with all my soul." Little did they know, a forest fairy was listening from the rafters. With a shimmer of silver light and a dusting of magic, their wish took form. There, standing upon the wooden table, was a boy of perfect proportions, but tiny stature. They gasped in wonder, their hearts overflowing with instant devotion. They named him Tom Thumb, the miracle they had always dreamed of. Tom grew in spirit, if not in size, proving to be as clever as he was small. One crisp autumn morning, as the woodcutter prepared to head into the deep forest, Tom saw an opportunity to help. He stood tall on the kitchen table and made a bold declaration. "Father, do not worry about the heavy carriage. I will drive it to the clearing for you." The woodcutter let out a hearty laugh, looking at his son. "My dear boy, you are brave, but you cannot even reach the leather reins." Tom did not waver. With nimble fingers and quick feet, he scaled the horse's harness and settled himself deep inside the animal's large, velvet ear. "Trust me," he called out. "Giddy up, to the woods." To the father's amazement, the massive beast obeyed the tiny voice. The carriage lurched forward, moving steadily down the path as Tom whispered directions directly into the horse's ear, guiding the powerful creature with nothing but his wit. As the carriage rolled along the dusty road, two strangers emerged from the brush. They stopped in their tracks, eyes widening in disbelief as they saw the horse being commanded by a voice from within its own head. Greed quickly replaced their shock. They saw not a miracle, but a fortune. They approached the woodcutter with a heavy pouch that clinked with the sound of gold. "Sell us the boy," the taller man demanded, his voice raspy. "We will put him on display and make us all rich." The father recoiled, his face pale. "He is my son, not a circus act. Go away." But Tom, sensing a plan, climbed down and whispered into his father's ear. "Take the gold, father. Our family needs it. Do not worry for me, for I am smaller than their traps and faster than their eyes. I will return before the moon changes." With a heavy heart and trembling hands, the father accepted the coins. The journey with the strangers was long and grueling. Tom sat perched on the brim of a tall hat, his eyes sharp as he memorized every turn, every crooked tree, and every stream they crossed. He was mapping his way home. As dusk began to settle and the sky turned a bruised purple, Tom saw his moment. "I am weary," he complained with a fake yawn. "The wind up here is too strong. Let me rest on the soft grass for a moment." The men, thinking him too small to go far, set him down. In an instant, Tom sprinted. He moved like a flash of light toward a dark mouse hole beneath a gnarled root. "He's getting away!" the men shrieked. They lunged for him, poking jagged sticks into the hole and cursing at the shadows. But Tom was already deep in the earth, navigating the narrow tunnels where no human hand could reach. He waited in the silence, his heart drumming against his ribs, until the heavy footsteps of the frustrated men finally faded into the night. He emerged under the pale moonlight, finding safety inside a hollow snail shell, shivering but free. The trek home was a saga of its own. Tom navigated vast puddles on a boat made of a fallen leaf, rowing fiercely with a single twig. He marched across fields of towering grass that felt like jungles. Finally, the familiar thatched roof appeared on the horizon. He squeezed under the heavy oak door and shouted with all his might, "Mother, Father, I am home." The parents dropped their tools, their faces lighting up with a joy that words could not describe. They scooped him into their warm palms, holding him close to their hearts. Their tears fell like warm rain upon his tiny shoulders. They looked at the gold on the table and then at their son, realizing that no treasure in the world was worth a second of his absence. They vowed then and there never to let him go again, for their world was finally whole.